8.7 Inverses of Trigonometric Functions. With this lesson, we are working with the inverses of these functions. We want to remember, though, that our sine is our y value, our cosine, is our x value, our tangent is our y over x, our cosecant, which is the reciprocal of sine, is 1 over y, our secant, which is the reciprocal of cosine, is 1 over x, and our cotangent, which is the reciprocal of tangent, is x over y. Alright, so with all of these problems, we need our unit circle. So with a lot of these, especially with your homework, you're going to have to pull in a unit circle to use in order to get your answers. For the first part, we are taking the inverse of these functions. So we're finding, like, for example, A, this inverse of sine of the square root of 2 over 2. So our whole idea here is to use the unit circle and find on the unit circle where the value of that sine is the square root of 2 over 2. So we know that sine is our y value. So this is telling us where is y, the square root of 2 over 2. So looking at our unit circle, the square root of 2 over 2, where is that y? Our y of the square root of 2 over 2 is here, as well as here. So we're going to take the radians of those, which is the square pi over 4, as well as 3 pi over 4, and use those with our answer. So we're working with pi over 4, as well as 3 pi over 4. To both of these, we are just going to add 2 pi times n, where n is an integer. And again, we're doing this to both of these radians in order to get our answers. And then we're done. For B, we're asked to find the tangent, the inverse of tangent of 1. So again, we're going to look at our unit circle. If the tangent is y divided by x, we'll keep changing and flipping here with these fractions. So we want two fractions to be the same, x and y values with the same sign. Those are happening at the, hold on one second, there we go, at the square root of 2 over 2, comma square root 2 over 2, as well as, where was the other one? Negative square root 2 over 2, negative square root 2 over 2. So we're looking at this pi over 4 and the 5 pi over 4 to find our answers. So remember, tangent is y divided by x is equal to 1. So we're going to have, we said, pi over 4 as well as 5 pi over 4. And then to both of these again, we're just going to add that plus 2 pi times n, where n is an integer. And then we're done. For C, we have cosine, the inverse of cosine of 1/2. So again, cosine is x, so where is x 1/2? You look at your unit circle, where find the x values that are 1/2. We have this one here, as well as this one here. So we're going to use pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. So both of these we're going to add 2 pi times n, where n is an integer. And then we're done. With these, you want to remember too to make sure that you add in that plus 2 pi n to both of your solutions. For your last part of your lesson, you're working with these restrictions. So if you're finding the sine, your restrictions are quadrants 1 and 4. Same thing with tangent. If you're finding the tangent of a theta, your restrictions are your quadrants 1 and 4. And then cosine, your restrictions are quadrants 1 and 2, which mean your only answers are coming from those quadrants, and only those quadrants when you're dealing with that sine or cosine or tangent. If we look at example A, we're finding the inverse of cosine, where 1/2. So cosine is x. We said cosine is quadrants 1 and 2, so our answers can only come from these two quadrants. Okay, so anything from in here can be our answer. Now, where from those restrictions is x 1/2? Well, x is 1/2 here, so our answers are both the pi over 3 as well as the 60 degrees. We have inverse of sine of 2. So sine is our first and our fourth quadrants, so we're working with anything inside these quadrants here. So sine is y, so where is y 2? Well, if you look at your y values, none of those y values are 2. So because there's none that are 2, then we have undefined as our answer. For C, we have sine to the power of -1, so the inverse of sine, where we have negative square root 2 over 2. So again, sine is our y value. So where is y? Negative square root 2 over 2. So remember, sine is our first and our fourth quadrants. So that's anything in these two quadrants where y is the negative square root 2 over 2. So the negative square root 2 over 2 is here. So we have to take both the 315 degrees and the 7 pi over 4 for our answers. So 7 pi over 4 and also 315 degrees. For D, we have the inverse of cosine at 0. So remember, cosine, you're finding this from your first two quadrants where your x is 0. So where is your x 0 here? Right here. So we're working with the pi over 2 and 90 degrees. So pi over 2 or 90 degrees are our solutions.